I can't remember the name of the song. No, I can't remember the name of the song. I sung Umbrella. That was my first one.
Rihanna.
That was shocking, yeah. I remember people making fun of me afterwards.
No.
And I think it's still on YouTube now, so people still make fun of me.
Is it? We'll have to get that up.
Oh, no.
Hello, everyone. It's another Football Friday here on Across the Line with Chris Greatrich and Sadaf Tupas. For this episode, we have part 2 of the Phil Younghusband interview, very long interview with a longtime Azkals captain, and he shares some of his experiences in the Asian Cup on this one. So, if you want to see the first part, it is on our YouTube channel, and of course on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So do enjoy the second part of this episode with Phil Younghusband. Mommy Susan was so supportive as well. Came with them to Iloilo.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember that. What do you remember from that tournament? The one in Iloilo.
Remember missing that penalty in the puddle. I remember for me, it wasn't a good tournament for me personally in terms of performance, but in terms of a team performance, I thought we did
alright.
Okay. Yeah, we did okay. There was only one team that qualified at the time, right?
Yeah.
So it made it very difficult. And I think James mentioned in his interview, had we scored more goals against Cambodia,
Brunei.
Brunei. Chiefy, right? And had your efforts not stopped on the line, we would have had a better goal difference, and it would have been different going into the last game. I think we would have had more confidence and been the favourites going into the last game. So I don't remember. I think from me, that's not one of the tournaments I really take away personally.
But you know what? A lot of our football fans, Filipino football fans, of course, that was an iconic tournament for them because you guys played in Barotac.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In
Bhutan.
The last game against Bhutan, and as far as I can remember, that is really the main, the heart of football in this country. And and what was that experience? I remember.
Well, there's the church right by.
Yeah.
I remember.
And then Chris, changing his shirt and just with everyone to see because the changing room was all broken.
Yeah. And it was a very wet day as well.
Yeah.
Which made it also quite challenging conditions to score goals.
Yeah.
But I remember just when we were pulling up in the bus and the crowds of people that were there, and the stadium was packed.
Yeah. It wasn't a stadium. The plaza.
Yeah.
That meant the world to them. That meant the
packed.
world to that city, to that town, playing there.
I've never been back since.
Yeah.
Since that.
A lot of your teammates, former teammates, come from there. Chiefy,
I know Chiefy and Yanti,
Ian. So Roel Hiner, Boogie Margarce. So all the homegrown legends are from that area.
Yeah. I'd love to go back.
Yeah, I think that was also one of the last times you suited up for a significant period of time. So you played that. It was 3 games, wasn't it? So you played those 3 games. You played the Brunei, Tajikistan, and the Bhutan game, and then we didn't see you until Suzuki Cup 2010.
Yes.
So what happened in that time?
The 2 years.
Yeah.
So basically, my mum paid for the flight for me and James. Paid our expenses, our flight. Travel expenses to get to the Philippines, and what the president at the time promised was that my players who would pay their fares initially, and then they would get compensated after the tournament. And then I remember my mum and Chad Gould's mum constantly chasing up the president about the reimbursement of the flight tickets, and it was taking a while, and I remember my mum taking the president out for dinner on numerous occasions trying to get the money. I think my mum spent more money on meals for the president than the actual money she was getting reimbursed. So
it's a matter of principle.
Yeah,
it's
that's what it is.
Principle,
and then I remember Chad had to be back for something. Really, it was urgent that he got back, and remember we were at Mall of Asia, and him being on the phone to the president, telling him how urgently he needs that money, so he can fly back to England to get something done. I remember he had to be back for something important, and then and I can't remember how long it took. It must have taken more than 6 months to get the reimbursement. And at that time, my mum was paying for us. My dad was no longer around. My mum was looking after us. So I didn't think that was, well, we didn't think that was right. So I thought, I'm not going to play for the national team if someone's going to do that to my mum. My mum worked really hard, and it was stressing my mum out as well, just trying to chase the money up, and it's not nice. And I thought, I'm not going to play. And if you're going to ask me to play for the team, why would I play for you when you're not even reimbursing my mum her own money? So I took 2 years off and decided that I'm deciding, and then I only came back because it was new management.
Because I remember a lot of people were actually questioning why he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And they see him on TV, right? Because he's gone onto this, gone into modeling and some showbiz stuff, going on a singing contest and celebrity duets. So, but a lot of people don't actually know the real reason behind it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't agree with the president at the time, well, he represents the federation, so and he's promised my mum to give her money back, and he's not giving it back. And
there's two of you.
Yeah, there's two of us. So yeah, that's even worse. It's my brother and my travel expenses. So, so me and James, we decided to take some time off. James came back a year later. I was busy doing some than the modelling showbiz stuff. So I didn't feel it was the right time to come back. But when there was new management, that's when I thought, oh no. It's new management. I love playing for the national team. I think this is the best time to come back.
James mentioned he loved the modeling part of his
career. Yeah. I haven't got any armpit stories for you.
Oh, that's a shame.
But
I'm sorry.
How did you find it? Like, being on TV all the time, and
it was. I look back on it now and think, what a fantastic experience, because I learned a lot about myself. If you asked me to do it again, I would go nowhere near it, because it's not me. It's not me. I grew up in a football environment, playing sport, and to do something that is out of my comfort zone, something I'm not very talented at. I tried, but something I'm not very good at. I would never do it again. I did, I'm glad I did do it, but I wouldn't do it again. And I learned a lot, and I learned that I can't sing. And it was, it was just out of my comfort zone, because I was dancing and singing and, doing something that, it's just not me. And I'm a football player, and so why would I, I wouldn't go back to it. But it was really interesting, and I learned a lot. And I think at the time I probably had an identity crisis. I remember being on the computer, looking up, learning how, I was trying to learn how to sing, and thinking, Phil Younghusband, the singer, Phil Younghusband, the footballer, Phil Young, the model. What am I? And it's very difficult, and it was troubling me.
Derek Zoolander moment.
I was trying to be, how do I portray myself? With what is my identity? Yeah. Who am I? And it was difficult at the time. I remember sitting at the computer looking up like videos on YouTube of how to sing. I think this is going to be my pathway. I'm going to try and be the best singer I can be. But it just wasn't me. And I think when I went back into football, that's when that feeling of uncertainty and not knowing who I am, that went away.
What made you do it initially? Like, was it out of necessity? Like, was it a fact that, well, I need to work, and was it that
was part? I mean, when I started doing some endorsements, and that was, but the income at the time wasn't sufficient enough to really live. Yeah. So I was still living off my Chelsea savings. The savings I built up while I was at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So then an opportunity came up to do the competition. It was a bit of income, and
this is the Celebrity Duets TV show.
Yeah. And I thought, oh, why not? I shouldn't fear anything. I should just take opportunities, and I did it. Yeah. So but I mean, I was even going on before the show. I was really scared and really nervous. And
I can sort of remember a little bit about the show. So was it like a vote? Did you have like a public vote for
yes,
each
it
week,
was,
right?
It
Something
was
like
a
that?
public vote. So I would start singing.
Yeah.
And then a celebrity
partner
singer
you.
would come in and join me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'd get voted off
each week.
There would be someone who would get voted off each week.
Yeah. So how many weeks did you last?
I lasted. There was 8 of us. I lasted 4 weeks, I think.
So there were 3 celebrities.
3 or 4.
Worse than you.
Worse than.
Not worse, but the fans,
Okay.
the public also didn't enjoy their song.
As much as you. Okay, well put. Okay. And what songs did you sing? I remember watching it thinking, what are you doing? But I can't remember the song. Can you remember the songs?
I sung one Tagalog.
The Tagalog song, yeah, I remember that one.
Aking Awitin. Yeah.
All right.
I sung. I can't remember the name of the song. No, I can't remember the name of the song.
Okay.
I sung Umbrella. That was my first one.
Rihanna.
That was shocking, yeah. I remember people making fun of me afterwards.
No.
And I think it's still on YouTube now, so people still make fun of me.
Is it? We'll have to get that up.
Oh, no.
Put that one in the show notes.
Yeah, I have to try and find the person who uploaded that and try and contact them, ask them to delete
Bring it down.
yeah. But it was... it was I learned a lot, and I was obviously I was able to learn more Tagalog.
Yeah.
I was I was able to interact with and be involved in the Filipino culture more.
Yeah.
Because I was in that environment, and so I learned a lot, and there were some elements of it I enjoyed, but it just wasn't me, and I wouldn't do it again.
So you're back with the national team now.
Yeah.
First tournament back was the Laos tournament where
The qualifications for the Suzuki Cup.
Suzuki Cup.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, it was it was nice to be back. It was James mentioned in his interview that we trained at the international school on the artificial turf, and it was just nice to be back. It was nice to be playing football, and I was really enjoying it, and there was no pressure, and it was twice a week, so it was just nice to be back with the national team under new management, and then we had the qualifiers, and obviously being able to see some familiar faces again. It was just really nice to be back. I remember there's one story. My brother was for the trip to Maldives, the tournament in the Maldives in 2009. I was still doing celebrity duets, and I was in the gym working out. And I remember because my brother was only in the country for a few days before he flew out to the Maldives, so I wanted to see my brother. So I went to see him in Makati, and I remember I was really pumped at the time, and I wasn't in football condition, but I remember them making fun of me, calling me Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
you were there.
I remember seeing him when he.
No, it was because I met Sam there. Sam.
Yeah,
that's
right.
I met,
yeah.
Chris's wife, Sam.
Yeah.
Rob was here.
Yes, Rob was here.
Yeah,
that was the first
right.
time I met Rob. That was the first time I met Jason De Jong.
Yeah.
But I met
Simon Greatwich as well. Simon was here for that tournament.
No, Simon played 2000 with Cotillas, right? That was
Cotillas.
Yeah.
It wasn't Maldives.
No, he went to Maldives.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We didn't meet him.
He wasn't there that
day.
But yeah, I just remember being very I was in the gym every day, and very, very top heavy, and but then it was nice to get back into football and get back into football shape and be part of the national team again.
You hit your stride early, didn't you, in that competition?
The qualifiers?
Yeah. Banged in goals.
Well, Ian was.
Yeah.
I was just feeding off Ian.
Yeah. But what was the first game?
First game was 5-0. Only got a penalty.
Yeah. You scored the penalty.
Ian had a hat trick.
Ian had a good hat trick.
Yeah.
And then the second game was.
That was the Laos game where you scored the penalty.
That was 2-2. Not a penalty.
Scored again.
So I think 90% of my goals have been penalties. And then James scored the
infamous
most underrated goal.
Most underrated goal.
Yeah, we gave him that award on the show, didn't we? Yeah. And
then we played Cambodia, right, which was 0-0.
Yeah.
And they were all over us, weren't they? Got a bit lucky; they hit the bar. But I think I really came. Then we had the Long Tin Cup. Do you remember we had the Long Tin Cup?
that was after the Miracle in Hanoi, there, though.
No,
No,
it was
before.
before. It was before where we played
Before.
Hong Kong. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember we had a tour. We had a camp in Davao.
Oh yeah,
And I twisted my ankle on Agro, the field in Davao, Agro, and then I was injured I sprained my ankle. I was out for a good 6 to 8 weeks.
You missed a lot. That's why you missed.
I missed the first part of the Long Ten Cup, but that pitch was I mean, we always talk about that pitch, me and James, because there was a rat on the field. There was a used condom.
Huh?
There was a used condom on the pitch. It was disgusting. So
Where was this? This is the one in.
This is Agro in Davao. The field Agro. You know it, sort of. Right?
I haven't been there. I haven't been to that. I didn't go to the camp.
Oh yeah. But do you know the field I mean? Agro.
Nah, I haven't
Is it
been
Agro?
there.
Yeah, basically in Davao, and I twisted. There was a pothole. There was a hole, and I basically just twisted. My ankle went straight. Foot went straight into the hole and twisted my ankle, and then I was out. And then I had to get my fitness back. Sorry, the Long Ten Cup was right before the qualifiers.
No, it was before the qualifiers.
Yeah, before the qualifiers.
Yeah.
But that's where I remember I sort of struggled for fitness in the qualifiers
Okay.
because I was still coming back from that injury.
Okay.
I remember cramping, getting cramp around
really?
70th, 70th minutes in those games because I was just coming back from injury and hadn't had enough game time. But then by a Suzuki Cup, I was
flying.
Yeah, I was in good shape at that time.
The team was really feeling good after that Laos tournament, right? And especially like when Mr. Dan Palami, the team manager, was saying that we might have more reinforcements coming for the Suzuki Cup, for the actual tournament. So we were trying to get Shraki on board, but he wasn't able to go. Chris came, and there were
but Chris did
not come. Of course.
So thankfully he did come.
1 week before.
And then 2 days before. I didn't know I was flying until the day I actually flew.
Yeah. But we had the camp in Thailand where we lost 9-0.
Yeah, and that was that was the time when they ousted the president. The
Thailand
president here, PFF president, Mr. Mario Martinez, the late Mario Martinez. He was kicked out, and after that meeting in Ultra, they go straight to this restaurant near the PFF, and everyone was there. Like the new president, Mr. Araneta, was there, and we were looking out for updates on your game, and you lost 9-0, and like, oh wow, so we're in a few days we're going to Vietnam, and then you're gonna be playing Singapore in the first game, and what are we expecting there?
Yeah. It's a bit different. We had Chris Singapore.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll come to the rescue. Bring my cape.
But that was, when you talk about Miracle in Hanoi, you always, you talk about the goal, but the expectation there that we weren't really, up for something big. And then all of it blows up.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the important things within Philip is managing expectations, and the fact we did have low expectations. Anything we did, was going to feel. If we did anything, it would have felt like a victory. So, but we didn't have any expectations, and we lost. Oh no, sorry, we drew 1-1 with Singapore, which I think had we played them before. I think in the friendlies before we'd lost 4-1, correct? Yeah. So I mean we expected, we didn't expect too much, but I think one thing we always talk about that team was the team spirit. We fought for everyone. Everyone got on so well, and we really were a team. We probably got a lot more talented individuals now, but we really were a team in that Suzuki Cup, because everyone was very close, and I think just having everyone got on off the pitch, and that helped on the field as well.
The result against Vietnam was 2-0, and there was I was in the hotel with you guys, so I remember you weren't able to sleep before that game.
No, I was vomiting in the toilet the night before. I had food poisoning. I don't know what I ate in the hotel, but I remember I didn't sleep at all because I was vomiting, and then I think I just that the whole day before the game, I think I remember having a banana and maybe a bit of toast. I hardly ate anything before the actual game, but ended up playing it and
and you score.
Yeah.
How do you remember that goal?
Chris's assist.
It's you again.
No,
everything goes back to you.
Yeah.
Always.
No, I actually remember thinking, because it was a counter attack, and I remember when it came to me, I remember thinking, oh, the keeper's, because I had a shot and the keeper made quite a decent save, and I thought, oh no, his chance is over, it's gone. That was my chance to score.
It was a brilliant save.
Yeah, it was a good save.
It was a really good save.
Yeah, because I think I received it on the halfway line. Literally, no one came to me. They kept backing off, and got my yard and had a shot. And then Aneta was able to recycle the ball, and then
it's a good ball, by the way.
And I always remember Chris saying he thinks he should have shot.
Yeah. I should have shot. Was it an interview with you that I spoke about it, right?
Yeah.
Because I can see that goal for me. I scored a couple of goals in the tournament, but that goal, I can see that goal. I can see every aspect of the play, because for your shot, the initial shot, I won the ball in midfield.
Yeah.
So I intercept the ball and I pass it to you.
Yeah.
And I remember watching, I just behind Phil. I'm not even joining the attack. I'm just, okay, just let Phil, he'll dribble it. He'll shoot. And then if it goes in, great. If not, we're just going to jog back another 20 yards and just make sure we hold on to this lead. So he had it shot. I'm thinking, oh my, this is going in 2-0. And then he makes a save. So I sort of start trudging forward. But if you watch the play on the video, it's so slow. Like on the screen when you watch it, like it's just Ian, Phil's in the middle, and then about 5 or 6 Vietnamese guys. Then I'm just sort of slowly make my way towards the box. And then as the ball gets set back to me, I can remember seeing the bottom corner. I'm just going to smash this bottom corner. And I'm not known for my powerful shots, but I'm just going to smash it, because it sort of popped up a little bit. I think this is perfect height. I'm just going to smack it. Honestly, to this day, I have no idea why I passed it. No idea.
I don't even think I called for it.
You didn't call for it, mate, at all. If you watch the video, you're not even ready. You're not ready for it, because I think the only thing
someone came out to press you.
He sort of comes in, then he half makes an attempt at a block.
Yeah.
Thinking I'm going to shoot, and then last second I just end up just popping it to you, and you're in wide open space.
Yeah,
and I thought, just touch and hit it, but you don't.
You
cut in,
back inside.
Yeah.
And then you hit a really good left foot finish. I'm sorry to describe your goal there, Phil, but I had to interject with
but that was
my version of it.
I like the way you recalled everything. After the game, though, it was crazy.
Yeah.
After the game, that locker room was like.
I mean, the players like Hiner and Yanti, I remember I think I remember them most after the game, because their joy. They had the ice bucket and they're pouring it over everyone, and I think for me, what I remember, after that game in the change room, I was in the sink, but I could sort of see in my peripherals what was going on.
You were being sick.
Yeah, I was vomiting in the sink, but I can remember sort of looking to my left and seeing, I can still see it now, picturing like Hiner, carrying the bucket and then pouring it over people. And I mean, it's just,
it meant so
amazing.
much.
Yeah,
it meant the world.
I think there was a lot of unsung heroes, weren't there, from that day? Like Hiner had come into the team, because I think Chiefy was on the bench and was used as more as like a spark plug.
I think Chiefy started the first game against Singapore, but
he got injured.
So he was used as like a spark
injury, I think.
So like a spark plug, impact sub. So Hiner came and played left wing, which was not his position at all, and he actually did a really, really good job for the team. And
I think him and James, both of them, they were on the wing, but defensively they were so good for us, because if we had wingers bombing on, we would have left loads of gaps and been vulnerable. But they kept the shape, and they were really good for us, James and Hiner.
Yeah, did so well, and I think, like you said, there's a lot of people who get a lot of plaudits from that tournament. But I always remember there's like a really iconic image. Someone's taking a picture. I think it's Yanti, is it Hiner? I can't remember which one it is, but they're on the ground on their knees praying. Someone's managed to capture the image. There's a couple of people embracing in the background, but it's a really iconic photo. And I think that game, it will be synonymous with obviously our goals. But I think there's a lot of people who don't get the credit and don't get the plaudits, who do deserve a mention. People like him.
Even off the field, they were good characters off the field. They were good personalities off the field. You'd never see them sulking or complaining. They're always smiling, having a joke, and that resonated within the whole team. And it was just it was just a great environment to be in. And one of the things I do remember from that, we took one game at a time. Even after the Vietnam, it was about the Vietnam game. We never thought about, okay, if we win this, what result do we have to get in the next game? It was all about, okay, this is the game we're playing, and whatever we can get out of it, we're going to try our best, and whatever we can get out of it, we'll see.
Yeah, the Myanmar game was the last game, and it was in Nam Dinh, somewhere like
0-0.
Yeah, 0-0.
Yeah. We hit the post. I hit the post. I think Ian hit the post.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a few good efforts. I think we played okay, but I think it's always dangerous. I think we're better when we know we need a result. I think we're very when we try and hold on to a result. I think that's when we're at our weakest. I think we're at our best and our strongest when we know we need to score.
We're trying to chase the game.
Yeah, but when we know when we
that's been the quality of the team, like ever since. That's like the personality, the identity of the Azkals ever since, right?
Yeah. I think when we have the mindset of we don't need to win this game, I think that's when we get into a bit of trouble. But when we've got the attitude, okay, we're going to go for this. We're going to give everything we've got. We're going to, we're going to attack, but we're also going to, be mindful defensively. I think that's when the national team's at its best.
I remember all the bus trips, because there were a lot of trips on the bus, and players were singing, patriotic songs, like Bayan Ko. So different from just playing, watching you guys play, and then going back to the bus and sort of just getting that refuge from the team, and because people were really mad. Vietnamese fans were really mad.
They kicked us out of the stadium, didn't they? They kicked us. They turned the lights off. Did they turn the lights off, or they turned the water off?
Yeah.
They wanted us out of the stadium as soon as possible. They weren't happy after that game. So. But I remember we had to leave quite quickly. Obviously, I was still being sick at the time.
Was this out of the more than 100 games you played for the national team? Was this the most memorable for you? What is the most memorable game for you?
It would have to be the Vietnam game. It would have to be although we lost, I do the Indonesia games. The 2 games in Indonesia I would say they're the two games that really, stick in my mind. But I think, if Vietnam, because we won the game and, what that meant for Philippine, well, when we look back on it, what it, did mean for Philippine football, that's the game I'd probably pinpoint as the most memorable game. But, the 2 games in Indonesia as well. Although we lost, the experience and the occasion was, and where football was at the time, and people getting to know the Azkals and the players and the team, that will really sit with me.
Did you because you had the move to Indonesia after that, like the move that did not push through?
Yeah, I had a meeting with after, I think during the semi-finals, I had a meeting with the team owners, and I said, at the time I wasn't playing club football. I was just playing with the national team, so we've been
full-time
fine.
Full-time national team.
I didn't
free agent.
I didn't really have a job, so it would have been so at the time I thought, it would be fantastic, unaware of the politics going on in Indonesia, but then when we did speak to what was going on, we were quickly made aware of what was going on, and James mentioned it as well, that if we did play for in that league, we may not be allowed to play for the national team, so it was too big of a risk. And also, we were getting opportunities here in the Philippines as well, because the Azkals were on the rise. We had a lot of endorsements at the time, so that could supplement the our income at the time. So but it was, I think it was the right decision in the end.
And that led you to play with Meralco.
With Meralco. James was in touch with Randy Rojas before I didn't even know, and then James said, I've spoken to Randy. You know, what if we play for Morocco? Yeah, the UFL's got some big plans. They wanted to make everything more professional. It allowed us to be, I mean, it was easier then because our mum was alive and we knew Kerry would be okay because our mum was around. Now it's a bit more difficult because both our parents aren't around. But at that time we knew our mum and Kerry will be fine. We can go away, we can go abroad, we can play in another country, and we can focus on our careers, and we know our mum and Kerry will be okay. But obviously when our mum passed away, that slightly changed. So that was it.
Do you? I asked the same question to your brother, so I guess I'll phrase it a little bit differently. But I would talk to some of the players in our national team, for example, and they would say, "Phil, like, he can play, like technically." I look at someone like Jerry Lucena, for example, who for me I would say is the best player that I've played with in the national team. I think as an all-round player, just phenomenal. But I look at someone like Jerry. He can't do half the things that you can do, like with a football, and he's playing at, in Europa leagues against Fiorentina and against some of the top players in Europe. Is there an element of you that wishes that you'd have tested yourself maybe at a higher level? Would you really try to push the envelope in terms of your footballing career?
No, never. I think had my life not had gone the way, had it not gone how it has, then maybe. Yeah. But my life has been my career has been amazing. I've been able to spend 10 years with the people I love. Yeah. Been able to spend 10 years playing football. Yeah. And and I've been able to support my family financially. Yeah. So why would I choose any different? Yeah. Had I gone to another country and played professionally, I could have done well. I don't know, but I wouldn't have been with the people I love. Yeah. I wouldn't have been with my family and friends, and I've been able to do everything I've wanted to do here in the Philippines. So I think, for me, my life could have been different, but it would have been better. No, it would definitely wouldn't have been better. Yeah, but it could have been different. But I know that what I've done so far, I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, because I've had the best time and I've enjoyed it, and as I said, I've been able to do the journey with the people I love rather than on my own in another country. Yeah,
it's quite interesting that because James gave a similar answer when asked a similar question, and
you asked him, did he regret it?
Did he regret it? And then he was like, I don't regret anything. And I think he used the way, sometimes I wonder, what if? Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you have that sentiment.
I don't wonder. No? I don't wonder at all. No, because I'm happy. I'm very happy with how my life's turned out. Yeah. Had I been struggling in life, then maybe I would have, maybe I would have regretted or wondered. But the way everything's panned out and the way everything's worked out, it's gone better than I could have imagined. Yeah.
Well, at Meralco, I think you spent 4, 5, 6 seasons in Meralco.
2011 to 2018. Yeah, so 7 years. 6 or 7 years. Yeah. Mm.
And probably people, the spell at Meralco was that the story will always be, you guys coming close to winning. I know you won one cup, UFL Cup once. Yeah. But
and they won that pre-season cup shortly afterwards, which Phil Wacko would remind us of. The fact that, I remember like Wacko had a thing where he won every cup or something, and he's like, and we won the pre-season cup.
But he won. He won with Stallion.
That's what I'm saying. Pre-season, we include him.
He won every
pre-season cup, Smart Cup. You won that as well. Did you not win the Smart Cup?
Yeah, they won.
Smart,
they
all
won.
The Mickey Mouse cups, basically. Right? Okay, so let's get this right before. Okay.
But how'd you feel about not really getting the the biggest prizes, especially in the domestic game.
Yeah, I joked with James. I said, James, you join Sarah's now. You might win the first
know.
one for us for the Younghusbands.
For sure.
I said, just jump on the bandwagon. But no, I mean, it doesn't. I don't lose sleep over it. I don't think about it too much. I don't think I'll be defined on did Phil win a league. You know, I don't think I'll be more defined on what I've done with the national team rather than what I've done domestically. So, it doesn't affect me. Obviously, I would love to. I'd love to.
Because you guys were in the tail end of that Air Force era.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all these powerhouse teams came in and formed all their big guns and also winning the trophies.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it would be nice to win one, but I don't think it will. I won't. Once I've stopped playing, I won't say,
should have won it.
I should have won the league. It won't affect me. I'll be okay.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I take a different perspective on that. Like, I think, if I look at your teams that you had, massively underachieved. Like, I always look at the Morocco team, and I always used to think when I played against them, I thought, you've got 5 or 6 good players, should be doing better, but I thought you were weak. I thought you were weak mentally. I always felt going into it, we're going to beat them. I always thought we were going to beat them. And I don't know what was missing with that lineup. I always thought you just like 1 or 2 players away. And had you got those, I think you could have walked away with 2 or 3 league titles in that period quite easily. Like, I don't know what's your take on that, but do you think that maybe with a little bit more investment, it could have been different with maybe some better personnel, recruitment choices, it would have been better?
Yeah, I think, I mean, you saw Stallions won with an all foreign squad, all foreign team, starting 11.
Almost, pretty much. Balot probably
much.
been one of the few ones.
Balot, or Jason. Yeah. So, but I think, I mean, you said it right. I think we probably in our teams, we've always had maybe one weakness that teams have exploited, and I think Chris is very. When it comes to Chris and coaching, he'll find the team's weakness and he'll attack it, and he always did that with us, and that's a lot of the success he had against us was because he knew our weaknesses and he'd exploit it. I think there's always maybe where we did fall short, it was always because that team that did win it exploited us. It exploited our weaknesses.
I think,
but I will never. I won't. Unless someone makes fun of me, you didn't win a league. I will never.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. But it's your show. You know what I mean? I don't want to be too abusive on his own show.
But I think this is a good comparison here. Like, unlike the Azkals, where you had very strong characters, right? You had Rob, you had Chris, you had Neil, you had Anton, Ali, to some extent. You didn't have that type of personality with Meralco. Yeah, the big personality, really talking and getting on people's faces.
Yeah, I mean we didn't. I mean, it's hard to find a Chris Greywich and a Rob Gear. It's if you have one, you're very, very fortunate. Say if one's at another team, you'll never find another one. So we never had that, and maybe that was part of the reason we were, not as Chris mentioned, not as mentally strong. But I think if we had that sort of player and that character, then we may have won a title.
Did you ever come close to signing with Meralco? No.
No, not like, it was never really a conversation.
What about Rob? I don't know if Rob did.
Rob Gear?
Yeah, I don't know whether my brother wanted to see.
But no, there was never really a conversation. I think it's always, we've had, when they were around, I really enjoyed the rivalry. I really enjoyed that rivalry. Like, I mean, I know obviously some people crossed over, and it's not like it is in Europe where it's like, you cross the divide or anything it's crazy like that. But I don't know, like I'm looking back on my time, and I always think, I don't know, maybe it's just my competitive nature, but it doesn't sit well with me that we never won a league. Obviously, we won a couple of cups as a coach, but as a player, you know, we didn't achieve what we set out to achieve, and it does that bugs me. That bugs me. So I'm not sure if you're just trying.
That doesn't bug me.
Yeah.
That doesn't bug me.
All right.
All right.
So
I don't believe him. I think that's garbage, and that's why your brother's playing now. Sarah's. He wants to win that title,
Exactly.
and maybe to rub that in your face.
Yeah.
Hey, he's gonna bring the trophy home. And
That's it.
So if my brother wins it, I'll be happy.
Yeah, good.
now you guys moved to Davao, a very very high profile move, especially with the league. Davao had invested a lot on really good players, and you were part of that. You know, you were part of the armada that they brought for that middle of the season in, when was it?
2018.
2018. How did that move come about?
Well, we were coming to the end of our contract, and Davao had just, I think, they were investing, and they had big ambitions. They'd signed quite a few big name players in Philippine football. So I mean, we left not because of what Meralco did. It was more of what Davao planned to do. It was more of we will never fault Meralco because they, we had a wonderful relationship with them. They were very supportive. They were always there for us. Even through some difficult personal times, they were always there for us, and we'll always be thankful. But it was more about what Davao had planned, and we wanted to be part of that because they were investing, and they showed signs that they want to be they really want to be successful and do well, and we felt we could be part of that and try and win the league.
Which did not happen.
Yeah, which did not happen. But yeah, it was more about we've come to the end of our contract with Meralco, and I think Davao's ambitions just were the deciding factor.
What was it about that project specifically that you were so sort of encouraged by, or?
Well, with Meralco, we always felt we were a few players short here and there, and if Meralco really wanted to, win a league title, Meralco needed to invest in the players that we needed.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a challenge, but with Davao, that didn't seem to be the case.
Right.
With Davao, it was like, okay, what player do we need? We'll go get them, because that means we want to win. And if that's the player we need to win the league, then that's the player we're going to get. And that's what that's the attitude we wanted to be part of. We wanted to be part of a team that really wants to push, and no matter what, whether it be where it takes its whether it's financial or whatever other reason it is, that's the direction they wanted to go in, and we had that same goal.
Yeah, I remember seeing there were plans for the stadium and all that kind of stuff.
Things like that. They had planned for stadium. They partnered with the J1 team. Yes, and obviously they had a good following in Davao. The stadium was quite full most of the time. It was nice to play in front of the fans in Davao, and they were bringing in players that could challenge. Yeah. So that's for us that was more than enough to show that they want to move in the direction that we want to.
So that must have felt really heartbreaking when you were informed that Davao was stopping its professional team. Yeah,
it was it was a difficult time professionally and personally, because I was planning a wedding. Mags and I were planning a wedding. Christmas was just about to come. It was Christmas time. So it was a very difficult time, and to hear the news that the team would no longer be participating and be running, it was very difficult to take. I had felt that maybe, okay, if you want to make a decision, that at the end of the day, it's up to the owners if they want to make that decision. But I felt like they should have given us a little bit of time to find our feet, and maybe say, okay, we'll run for the next 6 months, but this gives you 6 months time. you can still be training, still playing football, but at least you can find other clubs during that time. But it was sort of like one day they were here, the next day they were gone.
Was there like an inkling that anything was untoward at the time?
There was.
Were there signs?
They, to be fair, the management, they did communicate. They communicated with me and James that may be a possibility, but never do you think it.
At what point did they tell you this? Because, like for example, just to give everyone
when we were away, I was away in England at the time.
So just to give everyone an idea of the sort of the timeline here, you go to Davao, you play the remainder of the 2018 season, you get to the UFL PFL Cup final. So obviously you're in the hunt for an AFC spot.
Yeah.
And at this point, there are no signs that potentially that there won't be a Davao next season.
I don't think at that time.
No.
Maybe a little bit after.
Right.
Where there was talk of new management in the league. New management running the league.
Right.
But I don't know. I just still never thought, okay, it's talk, but they would never do this. They would carry on. They've invested so much already. Why would they?
Yeah.
At least if you're going to do it, you do it slowly. You ease out of it slowly. But never did I think, the decision was going to be made. Where all right, see you later.
And the team was considered as one of the more stable teams financially.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a financial reason. I think
I understand.
there's other reasons to it that I probably can't, I don't know all the details, so I can't tell the whole story. But I just felt with the players and with the way we sort of disbanded and didn't continue, I felt it could have been done in a more player-friendly way or staff-friendly. Even the staff, I think we could have eased out of it slowly rather than you're out the country and you've got a job, and then the next thing it's when you return you won't have a job.
And the tough part is you guys were about to go to the Asian Cup.
That was another difficult part.
We can transition to that.
That was another difficult time. We played the Suzuki Cup as well, and I think when we returned before the semi-final Suzuki Cup, we had a meeting, and the management did tell us a little bit of what was going on. But again, I still never thought, I think they'll still make things okay for us and make sure we go out the right way. And then find out while we're away that while we was in England that the team will no longer be around. And then you've got to go into the Asian Cup with this on our mind. I'm planning a wedding. It was a really difficult time, and so my mindset for the coming into the Asian Cup, it was just complicated, and there was a lot of things on my mind at the time.
It was quite a tumultuous period for you and your brother. Obviously, I was there. At that point, are you thinking, right, I need to find a club, I have to get a club, or are you thinking?
No, I'm thinking concentrate on the Asian Cup.
Really? Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Right, the Asian Cup's only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
Not even thinking about. Only a week. Yeah, a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
Not even thinking about club football. Just thinking about playing as well as I can for the national team, because this is the first time we're going to be in the Asian Cup.
Yeah.
This is huge. I've worked so hard to get here, and this is it. So forget about what's going on with club football.
Yeah.
Let's concentrate on the national team.
And 2018 was a big year because that was the few months before that he scored his 50th goal, and that goal ensured that the Azkals are in the Asian Cup.
What was that, March?
Yeah,
March 2018, and that was an incredible achievement just to be in the Asian Cup. So we were on cloud 9 at that time.
What can you remember from the whole campaign? You'd obviously gone through the qualification process with a couple of marquee wins. The away win in Tajikistan was a big one. I think you played an important role in that game, and then obviously at the point of the final qualification game, the qualification sort of stuttered a little bit, and you'd gone through a couple of.
We drew 0-0 away to Nepal.
Nepal, which was really where a lot of the football public felt okay, that's the game where you're going to secure passage, and then the last game against Tajikistan was going to be a bit of a procession, but it didn't turn out that way at all. So going into that game, what was your sort of going into the Tajikistan game, which essentially is a can't lose game? What was your sort of mindset going into that match?
I think we'd beaten them away.
Yeah.
We'd scored goals against them away, and now we've got them at home. I think we were fairly confident. We in our own ability.
Mm-hmm.
We knew it would be a difficult game, but we just knew we shouldn't. We don't need to lose the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think. I think it was disappointing after the Nepal game because we travelled all that way. We felt like this is the opportunity. Are we going to miss another opportunity? But then I think when it came to when it came to the game, I think we were fairly confident that we've played this team. We've played Tajikistan before. We've beaten them away. We've got good players on the field. We should be able to get the result we need. So but then the way the game went, then when we conceded the goal, then you do start to. That's probably the point, because they didn't create a huge amount of chances during the game, so we never felt uneasy during the game. But I mean, when they did score the penalty, then and there's only 20 minutes left, that's when you do think, oh no, have we squandered this opportunity?
Yeah.
So.
So then I'm trying to retrace my steps, because the first 60 minutes was a bit of a non-event, really. There was a couple of chances, but I couldn't really recall. I remember maybe Simone had a good chance, I think.
Ian had a good chance as well.
I think the goal he made the good save.
Yeah.
He made a good save, right? And I don't really remember sort of much happening. It was a bit of a boxing match, wasn't it? A boxing fight, that first sort of 60 minutes. And then the game exploded into life after that penalty.
Yeah.
And I remember, because obviously I was on the staff at the time. I'd just come in. I was working alongside Thomas Dooley. I remember he kept looking to the bench and he was going, what do you think? And I was like, we should get James on. James on. I thought James and Patrick Reichelt would have an impact. I think Misag started up front, and he'd worked hard for the team as a lone striker. And then I think we sort of felt that a bit of physicality up top could have changed the course of the game. I can't remember. Had James come on? James
the first goal,
then we made the
substitution,
and then he had an involvement in that first goal, and Kevin obviously got the equaliser. At that point, do you think, okay, we should be fine from
when
here on out?
Yeah. Yes, because we're on a high. The momentum's with us. Yeah, of course we think that. And what was that? 83rd or something?
No, 70
plus. Something. 70, yeah.
Late 70s.
Yeah.
I remember I was quiet for after the penalties, I'm not going to talk on it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, after that, you think, okay, now we're back in control.
And then, I'll just hit the microphone as well. Sorry, same time. And then, I don't think we could have written a better story for you.
No.
Really. 90th minute, we think, okay, we're just going to see this game out. 1-1 draw, we'll do it when we qualify for the Asian Cup. Ball gets put into the opposition box. Patrick gets brought down. Soft. Let's call it a soft penalty, but we deserve some of those. We need the rub of the green sometimes. And take it from there. What happened next?
I can't even remember.
You can't remember it.
No. All I actually remember is running to the corner and everyone jumping on me. That's the moment I realised.
You're quite confident stepping up for the penalty?
Yeah, fairly confident. Yeah, I was fairly confident. I'd done okay, and I think if you're having a bad game and bad touches, you might be a bit nervous to take the penalty. But I'd been okay during the game. I'd been involved in the first goal, so I was fairly confident.
Yeah.
And I mean, fairly confident in my technical ability.
Yeah.
So you haven't missed a lot of penalties, do you? For the Azkals?
2 I've missed.
Two,
yeah.
And you've converted 10, 15?
Probably, maybe 15, but
it's a lot.
So a lot of my goals have been penalties, so I've been fortunate that my teammates have got me up the goal scoring list by winning penalties for me.
Thanks to Patrick Reichelt for diving and getting a lot of opportunities. But describe your emotions in that moment. when you obviously you know that you've secured passage for the national team to Dubai?
What was good as well, we had a good turnout in the grandstand. I mean, it was a full, we hadn't had a good turnout in Rizal for a while.
Yeah.
So to have, the grandstand packed, I think there was a ban on we had a ban for people sitting on the bleachers.
Yeah, on the other side.
Yeah, on the other
because
side.
there were no seats.
Yeah. But to have a full grandstand, and be able to share that moment with everyone there and then.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone in the team, even the players who didn't play during the game, their emotion, you watch the video and you see how happy they are and their emotion. I mean, it was just it's hard to describe. Just pure jubilation and happiness and excitement. I think also because we knew that the competition was still the year after. It wasn't like we qualified and next week we're going to go into the Asian Cup. I think you sort of felt. I think to myself, okay, just I don't have to. Can just take it in, take
enjoy
it in
the
our
moment.
stride, enjoy the moment, and not have to worry about anything too soon. So no, but it was just an amazing moment, and I mean it was a penalty. Anyone could have taken it and scored. So it was just about qualifying. It was about us qualifying and all the work everyone had put into to making sure we qualified. And I think that coincided with that when you came back in the coaching role with the national team. You came back after the Nepal game.
Yeah.
And the environment, I mean, even Coach Dooley mentioned it, the environment around the hotel, the atmosphere within the team was very good. And I think that was part of the reason how we got the result. And huge credit goes to Chris as to, I can't what's the word?
Take credit for everything.
No, I mean, I can't. Having personalities in the team is so important. And when we lost Chris, when we lost Rob, when we lost Ali, and so, you lose a few personalities, and it affects the team. But even if you can have personalities on the coaching side, like what we had with Chris, it makes a huge difference. So I can't overestimate, the importance of having personalities within the team.
Like with that qualification, like I know one of the things that was really prevalent with in the aftermath of that was we were able to sort of look back on our time and think, I can't quite believe that we're part of something with this national team that's going to take us to a tournament where the best teams in Asia will congregate. Because it wasn't so long ago that we were the whipping boys of Southeast Asia, and to find ourselves, potentially being, because the draw hadn't been made, but potentially being on the stage with the likes of Japan and Australia and
Korea.
And obviously in the end it was South Korea that was in our group. I mean, did you obviously before that point? Was there ever did you ever think that was possible? Like, did you think that was something that was a realistic target for the national team?
No, I never. I mean, when we first joined the national team, it takes a while to really understand the landscape of football in Asia, and understand the tournaments and the importance of each tournament. But the longer you're involved, the more you do understand. And obviously, when you put it into perspective, we grew up watching the European Championships. Watching England playing the European Championships, and that was a huge tournament. The whole country was watching the game, and this is the equivalent. This is the age, and Asia's a bigger continent than Europe. So you're playing with the best, and Asian football has grown as well. So you've got players playing in the top leagues in Europe, the top leagues in the world. So don't know, just when it, probably a few years into my career with the national team, that's when you start to understand the levels of tournaments and how much it would mean to be in them. But I mean, we lost in the final of the Challenge Cup in 2014, which made it even more special, made 2018 even more special. Because it was such a missed opportunity and we were so close. So having qualified in 2018, it was the emotions of 2014 sort of played its role in 2018.
Yeah, I think it definitely laid some ghosts to rest.
Yeah.
I think with that victory, and it was great for us to qualify for that Asian Cup. You mentioned obviously the England going to the Euros, and who would have thought we would have an former England manager, leading the charge in Asian Cup. How did you find the whole Asian Cup experience under Sven?
Oh, it was a difficult time for me personally.
Yeah.
Obviously, what happened to Davao.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, just concentrate on the Asian Cup. This is going to be a good tournament. It's going to be something. This can, distract me from what's going on in with Davao.
Yeah.
So really concentrate on this tournament and make sure you have a good one. And then a couple of days before we're doing the training session, and I'm not in the not in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
And what was I didn't mind. Obviously I'm disappointed I'm not in the starting lineup, but no one's said anything or spoke to me before the first game. And my experience with Sven, obviously, is Sven Goran.
Yeah.
He's the England manager. He was like, it was him and David Beckham in the papers all the time. Growing up as a kid. So there's this football figure, this huge football figure to me, coaching us. I get to have the opportunity to work with him. I think what a tremendous opportunity. But Sven was a lovely person, so polite. He is what you see in the interviews. He's very softly spoken. You can have a good conversation with him. And obviously I was doing press conferences with him in the Suzuki Cup. So we'd go in the car and we'd have some good conversation. It was lovely to have a conversation with him. But he never spoke to me about not being in the starting lineup. And I didn't. It wasn't the fact I wasn't in the starting lineup. It was the fact no one communicated with me or spoke to me or said anything. So I ended up asking Sven if I could have a word with him, and just letting him know how disappointed I was. Not that I wasn't in the lineup, just that I told him, but I'd been in the national team for 13 years. I've had X amount of caps, X amount of goals, and the least I thought I deserved was someone to speak to me and say, look, Phil, this is the formation we're going with. We're playing one up front. Within a formation, the way you play, it doesn't quite fit the formation, but there's an opportunity you may come on. I just wanted an explanation, but they never said anything until I asked to speak to him. He apologized. He said he's sorry that he didn't. He said we were playing one up front, and the way he sees me as a number 10, and we're not playing a number 10, which I completely understand. That's part of football. There's going to be times where you don't fit the system or it's not the game for you. But it was just that no one took the time to actually sit me down, most especially Sven, because he made the decision, and just say that this is the reason you're not going to be starting this game, and but don't worry. Yeah. So that was disappointing for me. And then from then on, I don't know, my morale was very low at the time. Honestly, I wanted this competition to never. When I thought about this competition, after when we were qualifying, I thought this is going to be a competition I never want to end. I want to be amongst the best all the time. But then when I was there, I was demoralised. I was very low, and I just couldn't wait to go home. To be honest, I was looking forward to going home and seeing Kerry, seeing Mags, and just being with my family, because I just felt really disappointed. But I wanted to be there because I did want to be there for my teammates and my friends and my because they've worked hard as well, and they deserve this opportunity. I think everyone who's involved deserved the opportunity to be there, and I felt they did well. But just for me personally, I felt very low at the time, and I just wanted to go home, and I couldn't wait for the actual competition to end. But before that, I thought it was going to be the competition I never wanted to end, but it ended up working the opposite way.
But full credit to Phil though. He handled it pretty well when you were there.
I mean,
I felt your disappointment. We've had I had like 5-6 interviews with you there, and then like I can feel your disappointment, but somehow you found a way. Like okay,
especially what happened with the qualification as well. Been there every step of the way, and the way we did qualify, it was going to be, felt like to me this is going to be the perfect tournament, and then just the way it played out, it was very difficult, and but I mean, it's important to be professional, and I can't tell you I didn't try my best and try to work hard, because I will always do that, but it's just my morale was very low, and it was very just very disappointing and very sad at the time. So
did the Asian Cup experience, I mean, and the Davao folding up and all the you haven't even recovered from that semi-final loss to Vietnam. I thought you were very emotional that time. Did all of this contribute to you taking a break from the sport?
Yeah, it has. It's definitely, I mean, right now I'm taking the time to reflect, and it definitely has scarred me, and it definitely has, I'd say it is the main reason that because, I love the game, I love the sport, and I want to play, but I'm just enjoying not being directly affected by, all the obstacles and the things that go with Philippine football, and what happened with Davao, with what happened in the Asian Cup, that is a big part of the reason why I want to take a step back now and start to love the game again, because it has been tough, and as I said, it has scarred me. It's difficult.
And how do you think that's going to manifest itself? You're going to suit up again? You're going to look to pursue other footballing avenues? I mean, or did you not know at the moment?
I have no idea right now. Now I'm just enjoying what I'm doing right now, and doing a bit of property at the moment, investing in a bit of property, and enjoy doing it up, doing the place up, and I'm able to do that with Mags, and I'm also, as I said, be able to go and watch Kerry play tennis and do the things that I want to do without having to, when football's your job, it's not on your schedule, it's not on your time, it's on someone else's, and right now I'm enjoying being able to have the flexibility to do things in my own time and the way I want to do it, but I don't know how it's going to pan out. I don't know how I'm going to feel next week or the week after. All I know is right now I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, and who knows, maybe I'll try and play for a team, but maybe not. I don't know.
Okay. We were hoping that you'll announce where he's gonna move to next. The free agent.
I wish I had that for you, but no, I don't. But I'm really enjoying my time with my family right now. And as I said, I don't want to do the traveling. Is very, it takes its toll on your body, physically, mentally, emotionally, and I don't want to do that right now.
I think we've covered a lot of ground in this interview, and you've been, again, very generous with your time, with your anecdotes. We normally finish with a question that's like, what's the future hold? But you've already covered that. So there's one thing that I would like to ask, and actually this is, of all the people I would like to ask this question to, yours is the one I'm actually most interested in hearing their answer. Is how do you want to be remembered as a Filipino football icon, which is what you are, and what do you hope your legacy will be as a member of the Philippine football landscape?
Well, I still want to be involved. I mean, me and James still have the academy.
Yep.
I still want to be involved. I still want to influence football and be part of football. I don't want to completely go away from it. So, the best way for me and James, we think we can do that is to trying to be mentors and be ambassadors for the sport and help young kids, as much as possible. So we do still want to do some programs with the kids. Mm-hmm. Maybe not on a full-time basis, but definitely on a part-time basis.
Yeah.
How I want to be remembered, I want people to say that Phil, he was what a top guy he is. I want to be remembered as as a really good person before a football player.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to say, he was so nice, he was so polite, he's so generous, that's why I want, to be remembered. And then I want people to say, he was a good football player as well.
Yeah.
He contributed to football, a lot, and he's a big part of the reason where football is where it is. But more than anything, I want to be remembered as a person, as the person I am, rather than the football player. But I do want to continue doing as much as I can for the sport. I still want to help raise the interest again. I still think if we can do it when it was before 2010, it should be easier now. So, if we're able to have what we had in 2010, why can't we do it again? So, the hope that we can bring football to where it was before, that drives me and keeps me going. But yeah, I think I still no matter where I go in life, I always want to play a role in Philippine football, even if it's from the outside, if it's on the periphery. I still want to be able to be part of Philippine football in some way, whether it be playing, whether it be coaching, whether it be an ambassador, whether it be trying to promote the sport in some way. I still want to be part of it because it's given me a lot, and I want to give that back to the sport.
My hope for you, Phil, is I think the other stuff is fine. Like, you're a nice guy, so don't worry about that. Right? You're a nice enough chap. Just don't start trying to.
It's still dependent on the wedding invite.
Yeah, he'll have a lesser opinion of you than I will. I got invited. I got the big invite, so I don't worry about that so much. My hope for you and my hope for Philippine football in general is that they appreciate you, what you've done. Your legacy will be intact forever because, in my opinion, no one has contributed more to Philippine football than you. In every respect, on the field, how you conduct yourself off the field, how you've been in the media, how you interact with fans. So in that regard, I think your legacy is going to be intact. What I hope moving forward is that they utilise you and not use you, because I think there are sections of the footballing community that have used you and your brother, and it upsets me because I think you have so much to give and you're so generous with your time, and you show up for the opening of an envelope sometimes when you don't have to do it, but you do your bit because it's for the betterment of Philippine football. And I think what you've hinted at here is it does take its toll, and it has scarred you, to use the phrase that you said in the interview. And I just hope that we are able to utilise you in the correct way to maximise your influence, because you've influenced it off the field, and you've inspired. I know you've inspired thousands of kids with your performances on the field and how you conduct yourself off it. And I just hope that you're able to harness what you bring to the table, and whether it be in an ambassadorial role, or whether that be with working with kids in the community, however that may manifest itself. But I really hope that the Philippine football community try to utilise you in the best way possible, to inspire the next Phil Younghusband, James Younghusband, because there's only one of you, and you're unique. And if they don't do it, and if they don't do it in the right way, that's going to be another missed opportunity. So I really, really, with all sincerity, hope that you stick around, you stay involved. Your property stuff's great, but I'm not interested in that either.
That's why your dress is like a realtor now.
Yeah. He could be a spokesperson dressed like that. He could be. He can do a formal speaking engagement. But in all seriousness, like I said, your legacy's intact, and don't worry about that. You're a nice chap, so don't worry about that. But my hope is that we really are able to utilise you in a proper way that will inspire the next generation of Philippine footballers.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Chris.
I still think he has a a handful of games left in him. That's my hope for him.
Well, last time he turned out like Arnold Schwarzenegger, didn't he? When he didn't play any games. So let's see let's see what happens
That's
there.
2 years. It's only 6 months so far.
Yeah, but hopefully, you might want to, give it one more try, one last hurrah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We'll see. Yeah.
But thanks for coming on the
So
show.
yeah, thank you
I
for
really
having me.
appreciate you coming on.
No worries. Thank you.
That was a long one. Well, the Younghusbands talk a lot. These two brothers. Right. Thank you for joining us here in Across the Line. We'd like to thank Phil for being generous with his time. It's another great. I really hope they enjoyed that one, Chris.
Yeah. Thanks again. Thanks for all your anecdotes. Your real insight into toughness at Azkals, time with Chelsea. I'm sure the fans are gonna love this. So thanks a lot.
What stood out for me was the carriage.
The princess.
The debut.
Yeah.
The debut. But
horse and carriage.
Yeah, thank you for your stories, Phil. Thanks for catching Across the Line. If you want us to continue doing more episodes, subscribe to us on YouTube, download our episodes on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. And also drop a comment para tuloy-tuloy itong Across the Line.